Hey guys, Happy New Year and welcome to my first video of 2020, which is another episode of my Junk Journal with Me series where I am showing you my creative journaling, creative memory keeping process that I do in my junk journal that I made myself. And this time it's going to be slightly different because I don't actually have any photos or any ephemera from my life like I usually do. I just have a story that I want to tell, that I want to keep in my journal. And this is a story of how I have recently changed the name of my channel and the name of my brand from Tenkela to Teal and Tattered, and I just wanted to document the story. And like I said, I had no ephemera, I had no photos, so this is also to show you guys that even if you don't like have access to photo printers or you don't have any particular ephemera you want to put in your journal, but you just want to do something creative and have a little bit of fun in your journal, you can still make a beautiful spread, and you can still document a piece of your life. So, what you saw me doing first was, of course, just flipping through my journal and choosing a page that I wanted to work on. And I based my choice on the two book pages that I had that I wanted to use. And you can see that I used this beautiful blue one with like tealy flowers, and I was just trying to choose between the two book pages that I had in the beginning of this video. And I chose this particular spread because of the floral book page on the right side and because it had some blue flowers on it as well. And I thought they went well with the page on the left side and with what I was trying to document. So I chose the book page that I wanted to use and I glued it on the left side and I covered. I don't remember what page was there. It was a book page or just a thin paper. And then because it had some text and the text is in German and I don't speak German and I don't need this text there, I decided to cover it up with a linen printable from Johanna Clough's shop, and it gives me some additional journaling space in addition to um, just the fact that it looks beautiful there, and it kind of adds up to the vintage vibe of those flowers, I think. So now I had this stripe of this book page, and because it's so beautiful and the colors on this page were just gorgeous, I did not want to waste, like even a piece of it. So I decided to use this narrow stripe on the right side there as a kind of an extension of the shorter page on the right side. So I used my border punch, and this is a kind of like a delicate lace border, and I just glued this piece down onto the page, and it overhangs a little bit, so I can see the pattern on the other side. And now I'm trying to add a little bit more journaling space because at this point I thought I was only going to be working on this two-page spread. I did eventually worked on 4 pages, but at this point I thought I just needed a bit more space for my journaling on the right side as well. So I chose this ledger paper printable that I printed on a very thin paper, so that the pattern of flowers is a little bit visible under it. And I just glued a piece of it down onto the page, and I used some washi tape to add a little bit more decoration. And now I had these cute pocket coin envelopes, they are, that I got in a lovely Happy Mail. And I knew I had a lot to say in the spread. I had a lot of story to tell, and I was just thinking of ways how to um, give myself even more journaling space. But then I decided it just wouldn't work for me with the 2-page spread. So I turned the page and I decided to use those 2 pages as well. So now I am choosing a another linen printable from Johanna to cover up the text on the other side, and I made it a little bit more narrower, so I wouldn't cover up the blue flower because it just matched the colors of the page on the left side, and you could see it a little bit even if you flip the page. And of course, because I covered up most of the text, I gave myself some blank space to write even more. And now I decided to actually use this little craft paper coin envelope. And I am looking for some embellishments. Here on the left side, you can see a little dish that I have some embellishments on. And I am just choosing something that will look pretty. And I am also going to add a label to this envelope to just make a small title of what is going to be hidden inside. And at first, I thought I would use this kind of oval embellishment because it's gorgeous and I love the flower, but I don't know. I guess I just didn't like it on the envelope, and so I went back to the butterfly, to the blue butterfly that I was um, I was looking at in the beginning, as you will see here in a moment. Yeah, and I just glued it down straight onto the envelope. First, I'm gluing this label and just making it overhang a little bit, like I like to do with my labels, and then just gluing down the butterfly. And the whole story behind this page is about how I changed my name. And I decided to that in this little envelope I will put the story of why I actually decided to say goodbye to Tinkila, which was my previous name, and move on and with my new name. So I just thought it was a nice addition, and I also very like any interactive elements, pockets, envelopes, etc. in my journals. So now back to the first spread. I am making a title for it. So I'm using a brush pen in gray because I thought the black ink might be too much because the colors are so soft on both of these pages, and I am just trying to brush letter Teal and Tattered, and I think I mentioned it before, but I am no expert on brush lettering. I am still learning, but I like the effect, and yeah, so I just decided to go for it. And I'm going to be actually cutting each of these words individually, like fussy cutting them, and I'm going to place them on my pages as a title. And here on the bottom you can see my little puppy helping and trying to eat some threads of my journal, and she was so cute. I had her on my lap while I was filming this, and I did not want to cut out this footage because she's just so cute. So, like I said, I'm fussy cutting the title, and I'm going to be gluing it on the page right here at the top. But first, I decided that it was a little bit too blending. It was blending too much into the background because I did use the gray brush pen instead of black, and so I used my vintage photo distress oxide and I inked up the edges. And I thought that would be enough for me, but as you will see in a moment, it still looked a little bit too blendy for me. So I decided to add a drop shadow with my fine liner pen. And so I am just kind of making thin lines on the right side of each letter and on the bottom of each letter. So just trying to be consistent with it. And I like the look of it much better. It was sort of more visible, I guess, on the whole page because the page is just so busy, and I felt like the title was just getting lost a little bit. And he, my my little puppy, just helping again, and she's oh my gosh, she's so cute. Uh, so yeah, she likes to sit on my lap whenever I do something at my craft desk. And here I didn't notice she was trying to eat my journal. But anyway, so I like the title much better with the drop shadow. And now I am going to be adding some final embellishments to my pages. So I'm going through all those um, beautiful pieces that I have here on the left, and I chose this round sort of label type embellishment because first it was so beautiful and it worked really well with the doily that I already had on this page, and also because I decided to use it as a label to write the date of my entry. And with the dates in my junk journal, I do it in two ways, I guess. So sometimes I will write the date the particular event happened on, like when I'm documenting using photos or ephemera from my life. But sometimes, like here, when I just have a story to tell, I will just write the date that the entry was created. So as you can probably see, I filmed this video in November and I am only getting to voice over it now. So that's just how crazy life got during the holiday season during December. So now adding some more embellishments, and I decided to staple this little heart, gold foil heart on the right side. And I think, okay, some more little embellishments. I use a lot of gold foil on this page just because I guess you can never get too much gold foil. So now I am going through my Tim Holtz metallic tiny word stickers, and I am just choosing some phrases that match my page. So like this, I think is create your story. Um, and I decided to use some wet glue to just make sure it was securely glued onto the page. Another word sticker goes here on the vellum page. This is a ledger paper printed on vellum, and I love it for it has those lines and it makes it so easy to write on it. And I also love to write on vellum in my journals, as you guys probably know if you've watched my previous junk journal with me video, as I used vellum a few times there as well. So one more tiny wet sticker there on this little envelope. And now for the part that I think always makes my journal entries come to life, which is the actual journaling, the actual writing. So I am journaling about how just one day I decided that I needed to change the name of my shop and of my brand, of my channel. And I thought it was going to be a long process, like coming up with the name and all that. But the moment I actually decided, the new name came to my mind and it just stuck. And I was trying out some other names, but this one, Teal and Tattered, just stuck into my head. And I just knew it was the right name. So I wanted something that would be meaningful for me and that would also kind of express who I am. And Teal and Tattered is just doing this perfectly. I am also journaling about why I decided to change the name in the first place. So I'm going to journal about it and put on a separate piece of paper or vellum actually, and I'm going to put it in this little coin envelope. So on the label here, I'm just writing goodbye Tequila, and I am going to write down a few words on a scrap piece of vellum that I had, and I am journaling about how Tequila was actually created by someone who used to be close to me, who used to be my friend, but because of his actions, we're not friends anymore, and it just didn't felt right to me. I did not want something that I work so hard on, like my business, my journals and all, to be represented by the name that was made up by someone who's not even close to me and who actually hurt me. And then on the vellum page here, I am journaling about what Teal and Tattered means to me. So teal is like one of my earliest memories is about how much I love all things blue, how much I love the blue color and all the shades of blue, the teal, the turquoise, light blue, dark blue. So it's very characteristic to me, I guess, and it's what people who are close to me know about me, that I love blue. So I chose this beautiful teal color to represent me in a way. And then the tattered is more about the things I love. I've always loved vintage books, old papers, old things, old fabrics, everything old and tattered. And I guess these things just have a certain beauty to them, a beauty that's not very easily understood but by most of the people, things that you have to understand and you have to get to know to actually love and to appreciate them. And I guess it's also a little bit how I think about myself. So I've always had different hobbies and I like different things that most people my age. So I like different music. I liked old music, old stuff, and I just it was hard for me to find some common ground with people my age. So I guess that this is just a very shortened story behind the Teal and Tattered name, and I yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and my process, and I hope you guys will get some inspiration from it, and I wish you all the best in the new year, and I will see you very shortly in my next video. Bye.